Hi, I'm Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show 2.0. This week we have a special topic. Gary has awards that he gives, and we're going to talk also about LIV Golf. Gary, tell us about your awards.
Well, I think you should read my name on the screen. It says Barky the Awards Dog. And I want you to call me that the rest of the show.
Yes, Barky.
Barky. Barky what?
I left my milk bones in the with my late dead dog Buffy. So you'll have
Okay.
to pretend. Here's
You
a
should
milk
use
bone.
you have to use my full name.
Barky the awards dog.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for inviting me in, Kathy. We're going to first talk about what was honestly a pretty exciting finish on the tour that cannot be named. We'll call it LIV Golf. They're not everyone's favorite, but Dustin Johnson made a long eagle putt and hit it so hard it popped in the air and dropped. I mean, and they were playing in Boston, and the crowd went wild. It was like a scene from just about any PGA Tour event. So the
Well,
people who think LIV Golf has got nothing going for it, that was a pretty good show.
well, yes, I guess it was. But if he had missed the hole, it sounds like the thing would have been off the green and down to the Interstate 495 outer belt in Boston.
Well, there's an old saying that if took a crap and died, I cleaned it up for our show. So it didn't happen. As Dan Jenkins, our buddy Dan Jenkins wrote, what could have happened did. Scoreboard done said so. One of his characters said that. So
That's correct.
he
He
won,
would say it
and
often.
Dustin Johnson hadn't won in 19 months. And honestly, he hadn't done, didn't look like he was going to win anything, and now he's kind of back in the groove, I guess. I'll tell you what, his team has won 3 in a row, so not only did he rack up a bunch of money, but his team is just they're printing money over there.
Well, I expected him to win every tournament he showed up to play in just because he's not hurt and he's been #1 in the world. So if he's motivated, he certainly is capable of winning just about any week. I mean, that was always my opinion of Dustin. If he felt like winning, he would. I mean, I'm sure that's not correct, but he just was such a powerful player.
Well, the guys he beat in the playoff were Anirban Lahiri, who's a fun guy, and Joaquin Neiman making his debut. And I think Lee Westwood was just missed the playoff by a shot or two. He had a fat wedge, and good for Lee Westwood. He's always a fun interview. I've always liked him, enjoyed him in the Ryder Cup. So LIV Golf had a good week, and they got some headlines on a week where the PGA Tour was doing nothing. So they're
awarding cards.
Yeah.
They're awarding cards to new stars that we don't know yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. Good luck finding a story on that on the internet. But you look for LIV Golf, and it's all over the place. So they won. They won this week. The tour won last week with the reshaping the tour and these elevated events and stuff, which we don't need to go into again. But it was a good week for LIV Golf. Good week for Dustin Johnson. That was a good week for everybody in the field. Taylor Gooch, I think, has had 3 straight top 10s.
I have a question. What kind of golf courses are they playing? Do we know? I mean, that's my fault for not researching their golf courses, but we know the Bedminster course was certainly a championship quality because it had been assigned the PGA Championship until people fell out of love with President Trump. So that one at least is tour quality. And and one Pumpkin Ridge held an amateur, but I don't know how long it is. Have you ever played Pumpkin Ridge?
No, I haven't, but I do enjoy Halloween.
The
international.
I like the little candies. The
no. The fun size. What's fun about something that's one bite? That's not fun. You got to unwrap it just to get one bite. I want mass quantity. No, speaking of mass quantity, was what the International Golf Club has always been known for. I don't know what tees they put them at this week, but that place was known for being, 25 years ago, they had tees back at 8,000 yards.
Okay.
If you wanted to play them, that was kind of their not marketing, but it was their gimmick or their thing. They had like the longest course in creation, so they could do whatever people went there, try to get on just so they could say they played an 8,000 yard course. Well, yeah. I bet they had fun if they were still using persimmon, but it's look, we saw Eastlake get shredded by Rory McIlroy in
yes.
63s.
After starting with, as you pointed out, a double and a bogey. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, no, triple bogey,
a triple.
And he was.
I thought it was
already,
a double.
6 shots behind Scotty Scheffler, so he was 10 shots back after he played the second hole.
He played like a crazy man the rest of the way. That's for
yes,
sure.
He did. No, so I don't know that scores are any lower on LIV than the PGA Tour. Honestly, if I was LIV Golf, I would try to get them lower because you're only going to get more headlines. If somebody shoots 60, 61, or 58 or 59, that's great. You're in a war for headlines.
Yeah.
And whatever, a guy who shoots 70 and wins, that's not grabbing anybody's attention. A guy who shoots 62 and wins, now that gets your attention. So I think it would behoove them, and they probably are doing it, to set their course up a little friendlier. There are players too.
I think
players have fun with the fans.
I think people like to watch birdies. That's just me, but I think they like to. So I'm wondering if maybe LIV is giving people what they want is to watch some low scoring and walk away and say, "My God, that was unbelievable! Can you imagine, shooting that? I wonder how I would do that kind of thing."
Well, people walked away saying they saw Dustin Johnson slam dunk an eagle putt to win. You can talk about if you were to gather the 10 most thrilling finishes on the PGA Tour this year and take that Dustin Johnson putt, just that, not the other stuff that happened.
Yeah.
That's probably in the top 10 finishes of the year.
Yes, but not on the PGA Tour. You're just saying including on the PGA Tour.
Let's just say in golf. I mean,
yes.
I don't know exactly how it finished, but Oliver Wilson on the DP World Tour, the artist formerly known as the European Tour, he hadn't won in 8 years. He was down to like 754 in the world rankings. He made 2 birdie putts outside of 60 feet on the back 9 and came back and got his first win in 8 years.
Wow.
In the maiden Himmeland or something like that in Denmark. I'm not sure.
Oh, Himmeland. Yes. I wasn't sure where it was. I saw the name.
Oliver Wilson was a promising young guy a while back. Yeah. He thought he was going to be on some Ryder Cup teams, and I don't know what happened. Made a wrong turn, and now he's just another Wilson. But now he's a winner. So that happened over the weekend. But that might that story might have been in one of the top 10 finishes in golf this year. Oliver Wilson. So
speaking
that's just the opinion of Barky the awards dog. What do I know?
I was going to say, speaking of strange things that happened, let's talk about your awards. You do this every year. You've done it every year since I can remember, and some of these awards make sense.
You're back to World War II then, if you can remember.
Yes, every year. Yes.
Well, and, you just call it Player of the Year award. It's kind of dull.
That's no fun.
I have a low boredom factor.
Well, you got a 4 Jacks award.
Yeah, I'm dangerously close to my boredom factor right now if you don't pick it up a little bit. So Player of the Year award, what's fun about calling it that? So I call mine this time I call it we're giving out our awards. We're calling them the Barkys, which is what you hit a shot off a tree and make a par. That's known as a Barky. I thought that'd be a good name.
That's a great name.
Player of the Year, I decided to call it the Leading Man Award. I was thinking about the Male Man of the Year, but that was redundant, which wouldn't stop me from using it. But who do you like for the Leading Man of the Year? I'm going with Scotty Scheffler because he had 4 wins, including a Masters, and he had 4 runner-ups, including a U.S. Open. I mean, imagine if he'd won all 8 of those.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I can't disagree with you. as I said before, for the things that Rory did off the golf course, I would think that that would count prominently. But people who are voting on the real Player of the Year award, which is the Player of the Year by the PGA Tour players, they vote for who has won the most or who has won the most money. And because Rory won 3 tournaments, including the final FedEx Cup and Tour Championship, he got kind of the money, and Scotty kind of got the prize of the green jacket. So I still think it probably goes to Scotty, but in my heart, I feel like Rory did so much for the PGA Tour, he should get something for that.
Well, he can get a merit badge. I respect what he's done. That's great. But the Tour Championship, he only beat 28 other guys. Okay, there were 28 of the best guys, but there's only 28. It's not even a tournament. If that was a LIV Golf event, it wouldn't even get world ranking points.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah. You got something you call the Nearly Man Award. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, the Nearly Man is a guy who almost won but didn't. And we were about to retire the award in honor of Will Zalatoris, and then he up and won in Memphis with an incredible finish where he and Sepp Straka in the playoff both went to the drop zone. So he's out. So he's out of consideration. So it had to go to someone else. Who would you go for? Who would be your pick? Who's the next best Nearly Man this year?
My pick would have been Cameron Young, and I think that's who gets your award.
He gets the award. He was Barky, right there at the PGA, right there at the Open Championship. He was right there a few other times, and now he's right there on the LIV Tour making, again, he's printing money. So
did he go to LIV, Cameron?
I think he did, didn't he?
Cameron Young? I heard he changed
all
his mind.
3 Camerons left: Cameron Smith, Cameron Young, and Cameron Tringale.
Well, I think 2 Camerons have gone, and I think the third one is staying, but I'm not sure.
No, there were 3 Camerons. The only one Cameron that didn't go was the guy who directed the Titanic movie. I can't believe that old lady threw the gem back in the ocean. You know how much that was worth? That, and the insurance probably had to pay. I was just bad. I'm going with the. I think we need to mention the best performance. PGA of America, by the way, back on Player of the Year, the PGA of America on its point system, they gave Player of the Year to Cameron Smith. Speaking,
they have to, because it's on points of what tournaments you win, what your scoring average is.
How does Scotty Cameron with 4 wins and 4 runner-ups? How does that not beat 3 wins by Cameron Smith?
Well, the other part is money. I don't know. I mean, Cameron Smith won 2 big tournaments with big prize money, and the Players is always the most money each year, except for the Tour Championship or FedEx Cup, which I'm not sure what we're calling it, but that was what, $15 million?
18 million,
or 18 million this year. Okay.
Of course, it's probably 15 million after Jay Monahan took his cut. No, I'm. Well, no,
that would be why.
Cameron Smith does deserve an award, and I'm giving him the best performance by a mullet. Everybody loves the mullet. I mean, because it's distinctive, it's unique. I don't care if it's a throwback. Cameron Smith goes out there and does what he wants. That's what's great about a mullet. That guy wearing a mullet says, I don't care what you think. I'm going to make this putt. And he does. He does. And he did, and he does.
Now have a go ahead. What's your favorite one?
Well, the part 2 of the Cameron Smith story was the best performance by a fake mullet. David Spade, the comedy actor who played Joe Dirt, which is not a real good movie, but his character Joe Dirt had a super mullet. And after Cameron Smith won the Open championship, David Spade tweeted, "We did it." So good for David Spade for having a better sense of humor than maybe we thought. Not everybody thinks he's all that funny, but he's had his moments.
You have a Leftfielder award.
Leftfielder of the Year, yes. Somebody who came in out of nowhere and made an appearance on a leaderboard and threatened to win a major There's usually, the U.S. Open is known for its unknown first-round leader.
Yes.
This year, the left fielder of the year had to be that guy from Chile who you'd never heard of and you've already forgotten, but you might have heard his name when he went to LIV last week with the latest group. That's Mito Pereira of Chile, and he's the John Van de Velde Memorial winner. All he needed was a par at 18 to win the PGA, and he made a double. Hit his drive into the creek. It was sad. It was such a great story, but his swing on the 18th tee was just one of the worst swings. I think everybody felt bad. I mean, I don't know that I wanted to write a Mito Pereira story at the PGA, but Cinderella story is always great. Were you rooting for him, against him? What were your feelings at that time?
I remember being pulling for Justin Thomas and Will Zalatoris, and of course Mito missed out on the playoff because he was in the water on the right-hand side of that 18th hole. And I mean, that stuff is really out of play unless you're there and step in it. I don't think it's something that you really see. It's hidden away like there's some water straight in front of the tee on number 2 at TPC Sawgrass. And if you're playing any kind of golf, you should never see that. It just shouldn't come into your view. But he found it. So,
well, it's easy to say he should have hit 3-wood, except Justin Thomas just played the hole and he hit driver on that hole, and he made that putt for birdie, did he not? On 18. And so Justin, it was okay for Justin Thomas. I don't know why it was, but Pierre just made a bad swing. That's just, he was trying to hit it because he had driver. He was trying to hit a bunt cut down there, and he was trying kind of not a trick shot, but that's too bad. He could have hit 3-wood, a different situation, but once he was over there, he was in jail. He wasn't making par. He probably wasn't making bogey. That's the way it goes. Here's another thing we've forgotten about. I call it the 4-Jack Award. Does anybody remember how Scotty Scheffler won the Masters? Has anyone
probably don't
by 4 putting the last green, and he still won by 3?
He had a big lead, and he was lucky he had it. And he'll probably be kidded about that at the Champions Dinner next year, that he missed a relatively short putt for 3. You'd think that a master champion is going to at least 2-putt the final hole, but it took him 4, and it didn't matter.
He didn't have to. Maybe he would have if he didn't have to. Or if he had to, he might have done it. The other, how about the best? It's too bad. Can you imagine if Rory McIlroy or Colin Morikawa would have had a chance to win the Masters? They had I'm giving them both the Silver Sandy Award.
Yes.
Coming directly from Barky, the awards dog here. That's me. The Rory made he had an impossible shot. He didn't even hit it toward the hole. It was really well thought out, clever shot he played. Rolled down and went in. He went crazy like we've never seen him. And then what are the odds that the Morikawa on top of it, he holes his out of the bunker too? That was one of the highlights of the Masters that didn't involve Tiger this year.
Well, yes, and unfortunately they made it when they were out of holes to play, because if they had made it something like that 3 holes sooner, it would have been maybe tighter, and who knows if somebody could have put pressure on Scotty. But they didn't.
If Rory McIlroy would have won the Masters with that bunker shot,
oh my gosh,
that would be the #1 Masters finish to win the Grand Slam, career Grand Slam. That'd have been the greatest Masters in history.
Yeah.
Sorry,
maybe
Jack.
He'll do it next. Maybe he'll do it next year.
I'm not betting on that.
The one I like is the Golden Rake Award.
Golden Rake Award. That's going to go to Cameron Smith again. He's getting a lot of awards. Got a mullet and everything. Didn't get Player of the Year. He hit that great putt. He putted around the road hole bunker instead of trying to chip over it, and it was a pretty gutsy play because he could have messed it up and really been dead, but it worked, and he made like a 12-footer to save par, which was the key to his victory.
Yeah.
Every tourist who plays golf at the old course now,
yes.
You know what they're going to do at 17? They're going to put a ball down, try putting it over. They're not going to do it. It's going to go in the bunker. The caddy's going to have to.
It's going to take another 10 minutes to play that hole.
rake up the guy's, get the guy's ball and rake his way out of there, and that's going to be an extra 5 or 10 pounds on the tip, boy. Otherwise, you don't want to make the caddies unhappy. They do not have sympathy. I had a friend from Milwaukee. He was over on his first trip there, and he was just hitting it terrible. And he just felt bad. He was embarrassed, and he finally told the caddy after about 7 holes, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have to watch this exhibition." And instead of getting sympathy from the caddy, the Scottish caddy goes, "Aye, lad, 'tis criminal what you're doing with those irons."
Well, that's fabulous.
Do not make the caddy work a lot harder. What else? What other awards do we have here?
You got a ReTigerment plan.
The ReTigerment plan. Well,
would you explain that?
We're all excited that Tiger came back, and we really watched every minute that they showed him on all the majors. But he played 9 rounds.
Yeah.
And other than that first round in the Masters where he shot 1 under, and was it did he shoot 69? I think the second day at the PGA, but he had 2 rounds, but he had 4 of his 9 rounds were 78 or higher.
Yeah. That didn't surprise me. What surprised me was that he played 4 rounds at Augusta.
Yeah, he made 4 rounds. That was pretty incredible. It was a great comeback from the fact that he was there at all. Yes. But from a competitive standpoint, which has always historically been Tiger's interest,
that's his measuring
complete stick. Failure. He was 34 over par. He withdrew from the PGA because there was no point. He physically wasn't going to do any better in the weekend when he was hurting on Sunday. So I think he made the right call there. I think I hate to bring the question up is that going to be it, or did he just need more time? I think that's what
we don't know.
We don't know. We'll see him at the father-son thing with Charlie and see if he can beat Charlie. But
that could be his next major, the father-son.
I don't want
the late great Bev Norwood used to talk about any tournament that Tiger was playing in as his next major.
That's his new major. It's his new major, the father-son. I mean, it's possible. I hope not. It's possible. We've seen Tiger Woods play his last major. I mean, next year he might go, that was as good as I got. But I don't think so.
Well,
I think he'll be back.
He could play TPC Sawgrass because it's pretty flat. It's dangerous, but it's pretty flat, and it would not be a hard walk for him. But you don't consider it a major the way we do here.
That might not give him enough recovery time for the Masters if he's planning on playing the Masters. So he's more interested. Sorry, Jay Monahan, but Tiger's a little more interested in the Masters and the Players Championship. So I don't know, but I think he'll come back and give it a shot next year and see what happens. But he's getting close to the end of the line unless he physically can keep improving. So we'll see.
I like your Mouth That Roared award.
Oh, well, it's pretty much the quote of the year. We have to give a Barky. Barky, the awards dog, has to give a Barky to a guy named Charles Barkley. He was talking about the LIV money, and he said, listen, if somebody gives me $2 million, I'd kill a relative.
200 million.
Yeah, 200 million. I was unclear. Did he just mean his own relatives, or would he take requests?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Because I could send him a list. I think everyone could.
I don't have that many relatives that are left alive. I think I want to keep mine. But some people don't feel that way.
You're like Gene Sayers, and you've outlived all your peers.
No, that's not true.
Well, another award is the Frank Beard Cup, which just really is going to the guy with the best beard on tour. I like John Rahm's Super Stubble. That's pretty good. But, if you're talking a real He-Man's beard, I think, Ireland's Shane Lowry is still the hands-down winner. He looks like he's either a lumberjack or the guy from that old Manwich commercial.
I like the Sahith, if that's what you say his name.
Sigala. Yeah, he's right in there.
He's got a great beard.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like beards.
He's got a great smile. He's got charisma. He's got personality. Really good player. I think he will win. So looking forward to that.
I was surprised he did as well as he did this year, but he got in enough tournaments that he was able to earn some money, and even got to the Tour Championship. So he had a fabulous year.
Well,
Hopefully he's a new superstar.
It's funny. Well, he had a fabulous year, but he had a couple chances to win and didn't get it done. And since you mentioned him, he also wins another award, the Hey Mulligan Man Award, which is a pun on the old Hey Culligan Man. See, he's the guy. He drove it. He had a one-shot lead at Travelers in Hartford. Drove it into a fairway bunker at 18. It was a pretty deep bunker. He clearly didn't have enough loft on his club to get it out of that over the face of the bunker. And then he admitted he boned it anyways, right into the face, and pitches it out. And he had a 8 or 10 footer for bogey to get in the playoff and missed it. So he really that was a heartbreaker. But if you give him a mulligan, he would hit something different off the tee to not get in the bunker. I don't think he's going to sit there and say he needed the bunker shot over. He gets out, then he can only probably make bogey. So but yeah, if he hits it out of the bunker, makes a par and he wins the thing.
Well, I just think the players end up doing that several times before they win. It always happens. Very seldom do guys come out and win right away. They make mistakes, they get nervous, and then finally one day they win. They don't finish second or third anymore. They win the tournament, which happened to Will Zalatoris this year, finally.
It's not like the NFL where you make the AFC final game and championship game and you lose. You don't learn anything from that and come back the next year and win.
No,
Usually,
well, I don't know.
That was your window. It's over. The next year you go 7-9. You don't come back. I also want to give an award. I'm giving the Hard Cup Bowl to PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan because he's taken prisoners and taken names in this LIV Golf thing. I think he's done a good job of making it clear he's not going to play ball with them. I love that he called them an irrational threat. I love that.
They are.
He keeps getting asked if these guys, what if these LIV players come back, and basically said, no.
Well, they're not.
I'd like to give him a Barky and a cold beer.
I bet he'd like to have one. He'd like to have one.
I also got to give an award I'm calling the JT Poston Award. And I'm going to give it to JT Poston because nobody knows who he is. He won the John Deere Classic. He's in these events and he gets no attention. He might have was the John Deere up against one of the LIV events. He got overshadowed.
I don't remember.
He doesn't get any credit for his W. And honestly, because Barky the awards dog is giving him an award, we're so conscientious. I should probably get an award for giving him an award. That's just the kind
my favorite one of your awards, Barky, was the most delicious award.
Yes, the most delicious award. Thank you for bringing that up. Once again, the winner is Tom Hoagie, and once again he edges the unfortunately still cheeseless Daniel Berger. If Daniel Berger had cheese, it would probably be the winner. But without cheese, Hoagie's got more fixings. He's going to win that.
I can't believe he doesn't have a sponsorship from Subway. Really, Tom Hoagie.
He should. He should have one from somewhere. Well, Daniel Berger should be Burger King or something.
At something.
Although,
Burger King would be
when it comes to burgers, we all love Burnt Wiesberger, who many of us have nicknamed Burnt Cheeseburger. Always look for Burnt Cheeseburger. But he's on another tour.
Is that that's pretty close to the sum total of your awards for this year, which I think were very creative.
That's more than the awards. I think that's more than we should have discussed. But we what we should discuss?
What?
A shameless plug for the golf show.
2.0. That if I am not in a position where I can get the shameless plug, there it is.
Well, we can just do it audio. Plug. You should please click on subscribe, which nothing will happen to you, and you should click like. On
you won't
YouTube,
even get shocked.
Wherever you're watching this, and someday we will get enough viewers, we'll make 11 cents for doing this for you. And that's about what it's worth.
And I'll close by saying we have a really special guest in our next show. He he specializes right now in giving golfers the shaft. So I know you'll want to tune in. Until next time.
Barky the awards dog has been shafted many times by many people. So I know who the guest is. It's going to be a big surprise. You will enjoy it. Tune in until next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.